America up to North America and vice versa. So when that happens, that you're in the middle of that movement, there's the biodiversity is just extremely high, like you're seeing in this slide right here. You're going to be able to experience lots of species like that. Mm. Here's a slide of Costa Rica. It's a very small country, as I mentioned. You have the Pacific Ocean on one side, the Caribbean Sea on the other side, and right in the middle, splitting the country, are mountains that get as far up as 12,000 feet in such a narrow place. So as you can imagine, you will be exposed to a lot of biodiversity in a short period of time. In this case, 4 weeks. We're going to go to La Selva here, where there's a rainforest, tropical lowland rainforest. That's an ecosystem that's received lots of interest around the world, just like the reefs in the tropics, because of the amount of species you'll see there. This one here that says Palo Verde, that's a research station that OTS has, as well as La Selva, but that's located in a tropical dry forest, and that's a whole type of ecosystem that's in the verge of extinction right now. So it's very important for us to introduce students to an ecosystem like this to try and facilitate research and promote more research in the future. Down south, very close to Panama, we have 2 research stations. And when I say me, I mean OTS here in Costa Rica. There's Las Cruces that has a botanical garden. And it's also right where the forest is called a premontane forest, which is at 3,600 feet, more or less. And then Las Alturas, that's at 4,500 feet above sea level. This one in the middle is crossing the very high mountains of Costa Rica, almost at more or less at 10,000 feet. Vamos a ver, 2,000, at 6,000 feet. So it's very high, and you might be able to see the quetzales, which is this one right here in the middle. It's a migratory bird, and it's that's resplendent quetzal located and found in Costa Rica. So as you can see here on the right, these are the research stations that we're going to visit. And to be able to actually understand some of the problems that the tropical biodiversity and ecosystems are facing, what we're going to do in the course is actually focus on 3 areas or issues, like fragmented and degraded ecosystems. Actually, it's restoration. We're going to be introduced to the concept of ecosystem health, and also to the process of conservation, and exposing that to the impacts of human production. The entire course is field-based program. You will only be in San Jose or in an urban area for 2 days. The first day when you arrive to Costa Rica, and the last day when you're finishing. So it's a 100% field-based program. So that's something you really have to, put your mindset into that you're going to be experiencing 4 weeks of being outside, not in fancy hotels, but in research stations. It's a nice experience because you will not only be forced to be walking in the forest during the day, during the night. You're going to be looking at things as pretty as bats, as monkeys, and lots of different kinds of trees. So at least myself, I think that's an awesome experience. To be able to approach those issues that I mentioned before, those 3 lines, you need to understand how to gather data, how to understand data, how to interpret them adequately. It's not the same to have 1 data point versus 1,000, and what it means and why that is important in terms of answering issues that are so important today, like environmental change and climate and global change. So in this slide, as you can see, there are several moments where students are gathering data to be able to answer questions. You will also be doing this individually, or you will be doing it in groups. Some instances you will be doing this where faculty is leading the projects, or where you as students are leading the project. So this is actually a very different type of program, because you'll be sitting in some instances in a classroom with the forest or the ecosystem right outside the door, where you can go and gather the data immediately. And you will also have facilities like a laboratory. So you can approach questions, in different angles simultaneously. This is more or less a short summary of what you're going to be doing in those 4 weeks. It's going to be an awesome experience, unforgettable, not only because of what you're going to learn, but from what you're going to share with other students. And as OTS, we hope that you can share the mission that we have of working in the tropics and helping out with the conservation of biodiversity around the globe. Thank you. If you have questions, please go ahead and make them, and Brooks and I can you try and come up with a good answer for you.
Great. Thank you, Pia. Very well spoken. Um, it's hard to a program like this. It's very hard to encapsulate everything, every aspect of the program. But I think that did a great job. Um, it's a very, like, I think what as Pia was mentioning, it's a very field intense program. So this isn't your parents study abroad program. You're going to be out in the field. It's a great opportunity to do some research, which is a rare opportunity, I think, for a lot of undergraduate students. And not only that, do you get to take advantage of the facilities that OTS offers in Costa Rica, especially La Selva, which is a field research station that is about to celebrate its 50th anniversary in Costa Rica. So it's an amazing feat to have a facility like that be in existence for that long, and then have students at the undergraduate level being able to take advantage of those facilities. So I do want to open it up to questions. There are any questions out there, while maybe people are working up the nerve to ask their questions. Remember, you do want to raise your flag if you do have a question. Just to give you a little background on the program in terms of application process and what that looks like. As many of you know, the application deadline for this program is March 1st, so less than a month away. So the program is beginning to fill up, so we do want to make sure that students, if you are interested and thinking about applying, it's good to get the application done. That way you can reserve your spot in the program. If we don't have a completed application, we cannot reserve a spot for you. Again, it's 4 weeks long. You do receive Duke University credit when you complete the program. Yeah, that's kind of an overview of the program. So don't see any questions out there. I guess everybody has cold feet tonight. So what I would just go ahead and say is, one misconception I think a lot of students have. I speak to a lot of students in my day-to-day here at the office, is there is no Spanish requirement for this program. There will definitely be opportunities for you to utilize your Spanish if you have taken classes or have traveled to a Spanish-speaking country in the past. However, it is not a prerequisite. The prerequisites we do have for this course is that you do have 2 semesters of college-level biology or related coursework, a minimum 2.7 GPA, and good standing with your home institution. So if you got all those things in line, feel free to apply, or you can email us here at the Enrollment Management Office, and you can reach us, either myself, which is brooks.bonner@tropicalstudies.org, or undergraduate@tropicalstudies.org. Well, I don't see no one. Looks like no one wants to ask any questions. So unless Pia, you have anything to add, um, go ahead.
Mm, uh, no, actually, I don't. I think I spoke very concisely, and no.
Okay. Well, I'll probably get a bunch of emails with students asking questions when you're done here, but that's fine. Again, thank you everyone for your patience in us getting started here a few minutes late. But again, if you do have any questions, you can email us, and I will send out a recording to everyone as well, so that in case you miss something, you can watch the presentation again. All right. Thanks again, Pia, and
All
everyone have a
right.
good evening.
Yeah. Have a good evening. Bye bye.
Bye bye.